Hello. So I just wanted to jump on quickly, to be honest, and have a short video, if I can, just explaining why it's so darn hard to be active, to fix being sedentary. But also, why do you care? Why does it impact you? What are the effects of it? Why does everybody say it's as bad as smoking or one of the worst things you can do, which is being inactive? Why is it so bad? So I've wanted to share for so long a study that I saw years ago that really summarizes what I'd known for a long time. But it's been hard, just too busy. So I thought I'd just jump on now and do something. So I got ChatGPT to give me a summary of it because it's a long study. And so the link will be in the description, and the title is The Pandemic of Physical Inactivity, Global Action for Public Health. It was released by the Lancet just before the UK hosted the Olympic Games because it's part of a whole public health drive to get people to be more active. So I've been aware of this for a very long time. And so I know why they're doing all these things. So some example is that physical activity is widespread and it's deadly. It's only in the 2000s that they actually realised that. This is why I knew I was up against it, because they've known about smoking for decades. The public have known, and it's been widely reported in the press, but it's very recent that people have actually been aware. They genuinely thought there was no issue. So politicians didn't know that. So now you've got 31% of adults worldwide don't meet the minimum activity guidelines. There's a lot, so I'm just reading off. I got Chat to summarize it because it's a long article that goes on in all sorts of detail. But you do need to know the headlines. 31% of adults worldwide don't meet the minimum activity guidelines. Physical inactivity causes 6 to 10% of all deaths. And when they say it's from non-communicable diseases, all they mean is not viruses, not flu, not microbial. So it's lifestyle. That's what they really mean. Non-communicable is lifestyle, the way you're living. So that's heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. The deaths of those are caused by not moving, by being sedentary. So physical activity causes, I've already said that one, and it's up to 30% of heart disease cases. Now you'll find over time that the stats are often going a bit higher, and as you go wider, you start to find that, well, what's going to kill you? Most people will start to have heart disease and cancer and diabetes all at the same time. This is the big problem we're getting, all because actually, as we get more into it, what was obvious when you read the research is your body is not working as it should. So that's why I'm more interested in telling you that you need to learn how you work. If you learn how you work, then it starts to become obvious how to fix it, and then it becomes easier to do the right things, okay? So in 2007, their stats of 5.3 to 5.7 million deaths could have been prevented through adequate activity. That number's essentially going up. The number of people, because we're getting less active, more sedentary, because all the policies are not working. Because, well, modern life is the driver, is why. This is why I do the site that I do. I've known all this, so we're sharing it. The major decline isn't from leisure time movement. It's from the collapse of transport-related activity, domestic movement, occupational activity. This is most dramatic in rapidly developing regions like China, Africa, Latin America, where everyday movement used to be built into life. It's also in America that's noticeable how you cannot move, you cannot walk anywhere, because where I come from, you can. And across Europe, they make it easier. But in America, when you go out there, you actually physically can't get anywhere. Just moving, just being able to do normal daily activities is crucial. So they'll go into much wider things, which I won't cover right now, to be honest. They're saying the economic cost is huge. It is. So they're saying that it only got appreciated in the 2000s. That's right. It's only really starting to get noticed. And so it's taking a very long time for people to realise not just that there's a problem, they're saying it's a problem, but they can't fix it. They don't know, because there's a lot of detail in here. So what's working globally? The World Health Organization has strategies for it. There's leadership and advocacy. Do you know what? I'm not going to explain that because I haven't had time to go through all this stuff. I'm kind of getting a bit swamped in the things I want to put out there. But it is very much because this is new. The whole concept of this field I'm trying to really push and make clear, it's actually very, very new. It doesn't have the backing that you get for cancer and heart disease and all these other things. Okay. So why the progress is slow? It's You need population level shifts, and that's not what's happening. You need active cities, active transport. So you need to be moving, walking yourself, taking yourself places. Cycling can be great. You need school PE. Don't even start that. That just declines all the time. And you need good quality PE teachers with resources. What you'll find is that gets squeezed because people genuinely have no idea how important it is to be active. Because a lot of people from low income places, well, from less industrialized places, haven't had the problem of obesity yet. So they're still quite active. So they don't realize there's a problem once you come to this modern world. The new problem is the lack of activity and plenty of food. So you need safe public spaces as well. You need cultural support. You need social norms. You need government action, economic incentives, all these things. You need joined up thinking. Okay, it's been obvious to me, but no one's doing it enough, to be honest. Global organisations like the UN, the World Health Organization, they need to happen. This is because the Lancet and the wider area are trying to do something. But you know how long they take? They take forever, and they often faff, and they often get in the way. So it's going through. Yeah, it works through each of those areas. And it looks at trying to reduce global inactivity from 31% to 28%, like climate targets, all these kind of things. And you know that there'll be all this stuff pushing back against it. So the bottom line is physical inactivity is a pandemic driven by the systems, not personal failings. So, because I thought, well, how should I frame it? What am I saying here? And the question they're really putting there, and what I would always say here is, it's not your fault you can't be active. It's not your fault you don't realise that you need to be active because no one told you. But at the same time, you will suffer from it. So suffering from things you don't know about will then actually go out and find out about these things. So I got lucky that I went down the route, and I thought, and this is where I say I can prevent people from needing the doctor, because this is one of those studies that really nails it. I got excited when I saw this because it was starting to be a point where you could actually really share this, because most of the research before wasn't as clear. It wasn't as absolute clear that you will die if you don't move. They weren't saying that. And so now it is the biggest killer in the entire world, is being active, because the more people become sedentary, which means become modern, they have no connection with the past in terms of how much people used to move. People have no idea of that. And what you'll see is that they also say, well, calories, for example, these are the things I'll lead to over time, why I want to put something together. But it's so complicated to explain to people because they think exercise and movement is just calories. And it's far more than that. When you move, you change your genes. When you move, you change your body's ability to let energy out of your body and flow through your body. It's not just calories. That really just gets in the way, because it's almost irrelevant of calories, because you need to have your entire body functioning properly. So all of the systems of your body stop working properly if you do it without movement. They require it. So while this doesn't give you the physiological reasons, the anatomy, and all these other areas, that research has slowly come out, and that's one of the key things, that a lot of the research you'll find, the really good stuff that's proven so much, is much more recent, because they could show it in the 80s and the 90s, and the tools have got better now. But you're building on past research consistently, so the new research is just so much more damning than it could ever be before, because it's getting so clear that as we get less active, we die more and we live less happy lives, because you just can't do the things that you would want to do, and your body stops working as it should. So that's an intense one, but that's the whole reason that I do what I do and get out all the time. Because as much as I could sit down like everybody else and have more friends by sitting down and chatting online and whatever, doing that will kill me, because that's all I would do. And I see everyone around me have back pain, have heart problems. I see so many people who were in the hospital at the weekend and they suddenly have surgery. That is all because they're sitting around and playing games online all the time. So I still have lots of fun with my kids. But I make sure I get them out, because I don't want to be attending hospitals too soon with them. And that, unfortunately, is what I keep seeing. People don't realize their entire body needs the pressures, the challenge of getting out, because that is actually what we've evolved to expect. So until we do that, we have serious problems like this. So why is activity so important? This is why. Why do we need to get out and move? This is why. So why do you need to play your kids? This gives you the reason why. It's go cook. I'm cooking right now because you normally cook something when you cook standing up. You go and get the ingredients. You walk around. It gives you a reason to do something. It's a way to enjoy better food. These are the things I talk about over time. But activity, running around, moving around, find ways to do it. It does not have to be something big like a marathon. Actually, to be honest, all these marathons cause the problem because you shouldn't be thinking about that. We never used to do that. We used to just look after our gardens, go out, meet friends, be sociable and relax, having fun at the beach or whatever. That's what we really need. And the bigger things, they can come over time, but they aren't supposed to be relentless. So I'll talk about that some other time. I just wanted to summarize this. It's not a brilliant video. The image in the background is the wrong one. It's from the same series. I don't have time to change each individual one. So yeah, if you want to know how to reverse this, follow, subscribe, ask questions, because I'm just so overwhelmed because this is such a new area. People just don't get it. And this is what I really am focused on the whole of my life. Because once I realize this, then it does actually change my life. And I've got all the benefits that I'd expect from this. I don't have the problems everyone else does. And I'm getting older and older. And I'm having less and less problems because of the more I understand how I work. That's the point here, is to help you understand rather than specifically coach and jump in and do this personal training stuff, because it doesn't teach anyone enough. You need to know how you work, and you'll be a human for the rest of your life. So it's best to know how we work. And these are consistent stats that are not changing, that reflect how the way we're living right now. So if you could do one thing to increase the chances of having a better tomorrow and a better next year, it is go and move. Okay. Thank you for listening, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Go out and do something.